It's one of the most popular shows in the world, seen by almost 82 million people in 66 countries. In its 5 seasons, it's won dozens of awards, including Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild Awards and Emmys. In case you've been living under a rock for the last 5 years, welcome to one of television's most exciting shows, House. The world of diagnostic medicine at Princeton Plainsboro Hospital revolves around our favourite patient-hating Vicodin-addicted doctor, Gregory House.
Today's sluts are celebrities. My bad. Ouchie.
Keeping House in line and providing a bit of romantic banter is hospital administrator, Dr. Lisa Cuddy.
Drop your pants.
House is helped out by his team of doctors, Dr. Eric Foreman.
It's more than stuck. Val's been dead for 6 hours.
Dr. Remy Hadley, also known as 13.
Time for the B12 cocktail in my life lesson.
And Dr. Chris Tobe.
It's a shame that she might die because House has some personal crap to work through.
Former team members, the newly married Dr. Alison Cameron and Dr. Robert Chase, help out from time to time.
Office romances are a bad idea.
And House's best friend, Dr. James Wilson, is always there to provide a bit of support.
And since you're 150 years old, air travel was impossible.
Exclusive from the set of Season 6, the cast and crew will give House fans the inside scoop on what makes these characters tick and what we can expect from Season 6.
Action! She's got rhabdo. I know it's rhabdo, Foreman knows it's rhabdo, deep in his heart, even Chase knows it's rhabdo. Isn't it annoying when everybody in the room knows something you don't?
I mean, you've never seen a character like House before, I think. House is incredibly dynamic and a really intriguing character.
Sorry, patient's got a rectal bleed.
Busy.
We need you to...
Actually, as you can see, I'm not busy. It's just a euphemism for get the hell out of here.
I've always felt like he's on the side of the angels without actually being one.
I'm sorry, but I'm about to lose you because I'm about to drive into a tunnel, in a canyon, on an airplane, while hanging up the phone.
Everything he does, there's this kind of crass side to it, but usually it's just because it's kind of brutally honest, not because it's just blatantly mean.
Your son was fine when he got here. It was your freaked out overprotectiveness that nearly killed him.
The comments can be pretty out of order.
Yes, ladies, I am blaming her, period.
He's the anti-hero's hero. As brash as House may seem to be at certain times, I think at the end of the day, people respect that he's just telling you like it is, so you have all of the information. He doesn't candy coat it.
It's not a pot belly. It's a tumor.
As a physician, I always say, no, doctors could never really be that way. No one acts that way who's a doctor. That's just television.
You know, if you're in the mood to start kissing or groping.
But then if you talk to nurses, they'll say, you know, that Dr. House, he's just about right.
You'll have to excuse Dr. House. He mistakes immaturity for edginess.
House is an addict in many ways. He's addicted not just to the painkillers and the problem solving. He's addicted to all kinds of patterns of behavior.
I'm already taking responsibility for one doctor with a drug habit.
There is a definite tendency in him to sort of revert to his mean and lonely self. It's part of his battle. He's not someone who is, one day going to see the light and convert to some creed or religion that's going to change everything the way he thinks and behaves. That's just not in him.
Deep down, he's a softie, deep down.
I don't know to be honest, I don't know that this character has a heart of gold. That would be, I think, too easy.
His job is to heal people, So ultimately, as odd as the methods are, the motives are usually pretty pure, I think.
I give you a diagnosis. You don't like it, there are exits on every floor.
He's a rebel. And rebels, people like rebels, don't they?
Do an MRI, T2 images.
No.
Young people, I do think, respond to the fact that he doesn't wear a white coat, and that he is essentially rebellious. He doesn't take authority well. So he seems to be a popular character with young people. I won the Teen Choice Award. How about that? I'm 50 years old. I won the Teen Choice. I've got a surfboard, which I do my ironing on. I'm not going to go surfing on it. What do you think? I'm not mad. I like to think that I've defined a generation. Yeah, that was what I set out to do. I think old people respond to the fact that he is impatient with a sort of sentimental PC world, that he's got no truck with that.
Double threat. Eco freaking deadbeat dad.
House.
Sorry, parentally challenged.
The older audience I count myself as one, find that refreshing. So I think it's sort of, there's both things.
What excites us about it is the character stuff and the patient and House's outlook on life and House's outlook on the nature of right and wrong and the choices and the people around them and how they all relate to each other.
You know, that character's take on medicine, albeit different, which is wonderful, and renegade, which is exciting, is what made it different. So the idea started with just what if you told a genre medical story, but as a mystery.
Why does attempted murder from 25 years ago have suddenly become relevant to her health now?
Maybe they gave her something toxic.
This is fun, isn't it?
And then David's brilliance intersected with that idea, and the creation of Dr. House at the center of it, a doctor who doesn't actually like to see patients, is much more interested in the puzzle. And he's handicapped himself, so doesn't want to be seen by patients. The whole idea of taking a doctor and trying to imagine what they really say when you leave the room, and, you know, allowing the audience in on that felt exciting to us. And then you put Hugh Laurie into it, and then it just becomes everything and more.
I don't know the secret of success of this show. In fact, I don't even like to use the word success because I'm slightly superstitious, and I feel that if I even think the word, someone will drop a piano on my head. I'm just sort of ready for disaster at any moment.
I love that I never know that this show is going to be the same show twice, that I never know what Hugh's going to do next, and that really is the center of it. The great writing and the great performances, I feel, are the key to what make people come back to this every week.
You know, it's quite a dark show sometimes, but there's a lot of comedy in it.
Okay, I admit it. I have bulimia. I look good, though, don't I?
There is a sort of excitement in watching clever people cross swords with each other.
Cutting around his endoscopic ultrasound, didn't find peep.
So disproving it's her pancreas proves it's her brain.
Yes! Some people want House to change. As soon as House changes, the show's over. We're done.
You know, fortunately, it's good for our show, but it's sort of bad for humanity that there's so many different ways that the human body can fall apart. One of the fun things of our show is that we have no boundaries.
It's not about movement.
We're a show that sort of starts on the edge and goes farther. You know, we're about the 1 in a million case. We're about what happens when everything else has been tried and you have to do something new and different.
House may work with his team, but that doesn't mean he has to like them.
You're fired. You're fired.
House is not good to his friends.
If House needs something done, you know, he needs a surgery done or whatever, he'll come to me and I'll be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that because, you know, it's probably going to kill the patient.
Complex tachycardia, she's going to crash.
House has tried to fire me like about 3 times, I think.
You don't still have the hots for me, do you?
Of course Cameron looks up to House. I mean, I think she'll always admire his ability to piece things together in a totally unorthodox and unusual way.
Starting tomorrow, you'll come to my office for your fix. Cuddy is the only one that can handle House, in more ways than one. Cuddy and House have an incredibly complicated relationship. They're great friends. At some point, they had a one-night stand, and he disappeared. Every once in a while, he'll say something that's just, he's crossed a line.
Go suckle him, a little bastard child who makes you feel good about yourself.
She has a pretty high pain tolerance. She really does. Or she just has such bad taste in men that it's all foreplay. People who get close to you get hurt. I think she's a good match for him in a lot of ways, although this is the show House, so nobody can really actually be happy. So it can't ever really work, but it can certainly be lots more torture. You're afraid to be happy.
Why do you care if I'm happy?